Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our New York studio. I'm Chris Taylor. Pakistan has launched Operation Ghazab-Lil-Haq following deadly cross-border strikes that allegedly killed dozens of people, sharply escalating tensions along the volatile frontier with Afghanistan. Military officials confirmed that fighter jets and artillery units targeted multiple positions across the border in what they described as a coordinated and calculated response. Islamabad says the operation follows intensified clashes and claims of militant sanctuaries across the border. Officials state the strikes were aimed at specific hostile positions, while Kabul has reacted strongly, warning of consequences. With both sides exchanging accusations, tensions remain high along the Durand Line, raising fears of further escalation in the region. Pakistan's information minister, Ataullah Tarar, has stated that 133 Afghan Taliban operatives were killed and more than 200 injured during Operation Ghazab-Lil-Haq. According to the minister, defense targets in Kabul, Paktia, and Kandahar were struck with the possibility of further casualties. He said 27 posts of the Afghan Taliban were destroyed and 9 captured, 2 corps headquarters, 3 brigade headquarters, 2 ammunition depots, 1 logistics base, 3 battalion headquarters, and 2 sector headquarters were reportedly eliminated. More than 80 tanks, artillery guns, and armored personnel carriers were also destroyed during the operation, according to official figures. Pakistan Air Force jets are now patrolling the skies over Kandahar following recent airstrikes against Afghan Taliban targets, according to state broadcaster PTV News. Security sources say the Pakistan Armed Forces are fully prepared for any aggression and retain the capability to deliver what they describe as a strong and befitting response. Officials have emphasized heightened vigilance along the border as tensions remain elevated and military operations continue. For more on the situation along the frontier, we go to our Islamabad correspondent, Sarah William. Sarah, what is the latest from the capital?
Thank you, Chris. Officials here in Islamabad say the operation is ongoing and being closely monitored at the highest levels of government and military command. Security briefings indicate that border positions remain on high alert, particularly along sensitive crossing points. Authorities maintain that the action was a direct response to what they describe as unprovoked aggression and threats to civilian safety. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels remain tense, with officials signaling readiness for further measures if required. The situation remains fluid, and security assessments are continuing around the clock.
Thank you, Sarah, for that update from Islamabad. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said Pakistan will not compromise on the defense of its homeland, affirming that the people stand firmly with the armed forces in safeguarding the country's security, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. He emphasized that the Pakistan Armed Forces are fully capable of countering any internal or external threat and will meet every act of aggression with a decisive response. While reiterating that Pakistan seeks peace, the Prime Minister warned that any attempt to violate its borders would be confronted with full resolve and national unity behind the military. Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi has strongly condemned the Afghan Taliban for what he described as targeting civilians. In a statement from the Interior Ministry, he said Pakistan's armed forces responded appropriately to what he termed open aggression. He stated that the enemy struck under the cover of night and made what he called a despicable attempt to target innocent civilians. The minister added that the nation stands shoulder to shoulder with the armed forces and warned of serious consequences. Meanwhile, Afghan Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid has acknowledged that airstrikes took place in Kabul, Kandahar, and Paktia. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif has also weighed in, saying Islamabad's diplomatic efforts to normalize ties with Kabul have failed. In a statement on social media platform X, he accused Afghanistan's Taliban-led administration of harboring militants and undermining regional stability. He denied expectations of peace following NATO's withdrawal from Afghanistan and said that, in response to what Pakistan described as unprovoked aggression, the armed forces are delivering a decisive response to protect national sovereignty. He also highlighted Pakistan's long history of hosting Afghan refugees and stressed that, in his words, the country's patience has reached its limit. Meanwhile, security sources say that due to what they describe as the effective and decisive response of the Pakistan army, Afghan Taliban fighters fled from the Torkham border crossing. According to these sources, the retreat followed Pakistani forces' response to what was termed unprovoked aggression. Reports indicate that Taliban personnel withdrew from the Torkham area, loading goods onto trucks as they departed. As tensions persist along the Durand Line, regional observers are closely watching developments amid concerns that further escalation could destabilize an already fragile security environment. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.